Hello, it's Labor Day Monday, September the 7th, 2020. Thought I'd give you a little look at Chrissy's gardens today. Fall is definitely in the air. We have a little sunny period, a little break from all the rain we've had today and last night. Very windy though. You can see things bobbing around. All our annuals that were grown from seed. You know, we got out of that hot weather and we got a lot more precipitation going, and these things have just exploded. They are maximum right now. They're the best color. They're just going crazy because they know the frost is coming, and this is the time to make hay, as they say. Everything lush, full, just at its peak. The hydrangea was heavily pruned this year to encourage growth in the plant itself. Next year we expect to see some amazing blossoms on this bush. Even the stuff in the pots, maxed out. Beautiful. If you recall from our earlier videos, the red mystery plant that was planted by something or someone, we don't know where it came from, but we love it. It got a second bloom. After being deadheaded, it came up a second time. The irises and lilies, they've been split and thinned, so they'll fill in. They were getting a little crowded in there. We certainly don't want damage or rot in the root system. Again, lilies were deadheaded. They're coming on for a second time. In this little garden, we're so happy with the display of the echinacea, these yellow flowers. We got a white one to complement. That bush we replanted from the side is doing very well in this new spot. It's very happy. Late hostas, wonderful. Assortment of small plants and transplants that have occurred over the summer. Everything's doing great now with the nicer weather and lots of water. Over to our crazy side micro garden. We really found the tomatoes didn't do a lot for us out here. We probably maybe got a half a dozen off of them, and being as they were taking up more space than they were worth, we removed the plants so we could focus on these beans. Now these beans are something else. They grew right up these trellises and they've fallen over. It's like a double layer in there. I think they would have grown right up the side of the house, even up to the eaves troughs if we'd allowed them or given them the structure to climb on. You see them coming up the pipe there. And of course they take over the fence, coming over to the neighbors. So the bean harvest has been amazing this year. All our bean plants just produced like crazy. And back to the back. The Scarlet Runner beans on the trellis did very nicely. We did find that the side that was planted into the ground produced much better than the side that was in the pot. So perhaps there wasn't enough nutrients and whatnot in the pot for them. As you can see, lots of flowers still. So we can still get a bunch more beans if the weather cooperates. And we saw our first hummingbirds in years because they were attracted to the red flowers. Christine has been doing lots of preparation for the fall and winter. Once a plant is stopped producing, it has been removed. And we're reconfiguring this garden somewhat to have more ornamental flowers and stuff. We're kind of mirroring the neighbor's yard in that aspect. And then we'll do some food production out here. Christine ordered in a ton of mulch to promote the permaculture, which is creation of soil through decomposition. So we don't have to add a lot of chemicals and other additives to the soil. And there's Buddy the dog. You probably heard him making a bunch of noise there a second ago. You're a yuppie little fella, aren't you? Ooh, it's windy, eh? Ooh. Did a little tidying up over here in this shade garden. There's too much going on. It's been thinned. Everything's nice and set for fall, winter, and for next year's growing season. She's doing a lot of seeds, collecting a lot of seeds from various plants. And of course, they'll be going in next year. Look at that window, the yellow flowers. We came up yesterday and we trimmed all the leaves and cut the tops off the tomato plants. At this point, they're not going to produce anymore. It's too late for new fruit and whatnot. So we cut the plant so all the energy stays in it, and then we get rid of a lot of the superfluous leaves so they can get maximum sunlight and redden up for us. Had a tremendous crop of tomatoes this year. You'll see photographs of them on our table, ripe and in various stages of ripening. Fall is a beautiful time for these black-eyed Susans and the phlox. Beautiful color. They're maxed out right now. There's some more of our tomatoes and that. There's our San Marzanos that are up there. We're letting those go ripening on the vine, and they'll become seeds for next year's. A little squash hanging on the fence there. There's a plant back there. It's got 3 or 4 of them on it. The rest of the pumpkins and such that we planted up on the hill, you can see the yellow flowers through the fence. They really didn't produce that well. I don't know if animals got them as soon as they were small, or they just didn't happen, but that was disappointing. But the surprise of the year are these crazy mammoth sunflowers. Now, you might have seen my picture on Facebook of me standing in front of one of them, and it was 15 feet tall. Some of them have like trunks like my forearm on them. You can see they got big heads on them. We're going to let them dry up there and mature. Then we're going to cut them off, harvest the seeds to plant next year, and we'll give a bunch to the birds for winter food. You can see again all the plants that were past their time, not producing. They've all been taken up, and then we've got the mulch in place to get good and rich soil for next year's season. Our herb garden's hanging in there. We got a few more peppers and that to go in this garden. There's still a bunch on there, giving them time to redden. See, a lot of things were pulled out that just weren't working. We also had a little surprise. I don't know that this has happened, but after cleaning up the clematis, which was in full bloom around the beginning of July, we got a second display of clematis. Mature. Our beans were a really big hit this year. You see how they climbed and masked up the side of our canopy, right up, and we hung strings, and they came across and above and around us. Did very well. We got a lot of beans off these. There's a lot of harvesting and a lot of preserving. And here is what it was all about. All that gardening. There you have it. Puree tomatoes, pickled beans, preserved beans, pickles, salsa, tomato sauce, pickled peppers, hot pepper relish. We're all set for winter. That's the prize. That's why we did it. That's why she did it. Thanks for watching.